The Archangel Chronicles 2, Chapter 21, Beneficium, by Raymond Kaliope, copyright 2026, all rights reserved.
Depart, two roads unroll beneath one star. One seeks the goal that feeds the heart, one walks to find the child afar. Star of mercy, guide me through, light the path true. If the sea should close behind, keep my soul in heaven's mind. O night of parting, hush the wave, carry your vows on winds of flame. If I return or find my grave, let heaven remember my name. Star of mercy, guide me through, light the path where love is true. If the sea should close behind, keep my soul in heaven's mind.
Sophia. Theron handed me the scroll as one hands over something fragile, not reverently, but with care earned through long experience. The parchment was wrapped in plain linen, tied with a narrow cord, no seal, no emblem. "This is yours," he said simply. Scarus stood a little apart, eyes turned outward, as though guarding not the camp, but the moment itself. Adam watched me, not the scroll, his face open, attentive, ready to withdraw if I wished. I nodded once and stepped away from the fire. The night was quiet, but not empty. Somewhere beyond the ring of light, Loukia's lyre murmured softly, a half-remembered melody that did not intrude. I sat on a low stone and rested the scroll across my knees. For a long time, I did not open it. I knew the hand. It was his. I loosened the cord. The parchment whispered as it unfurled. To my daughter, Sophia, we are no longer strangers. You know who I am. I know who you are. That knowledge has cost us both. I write to you not as a magistrate, nor as a Roman, nor as a man accustomed to command, but as your father, who has lived too long with words withheld. I did not save your mother. I did not stand before Rome and defy it when defiance might have mattered. I chose the lesser courage of concealment and called it wisdom. Because of that choice, you grew beyond my reach, yet you grew. That is the mercy I did not earn. You have become exactly what Rome cannot tolerate and cannot easily destroy. A woman who listens, who remembers, who is not owned by fear or favor. If I had shaped you openly, I would have blunted you. What the world calls abandonment, Providence turned into freedom. I am proud of you, without condition, without claim. You must understand what now surrounds you. Men who trade in order and tradition have begun to notice the pattern of your life. They will not accuse you at first. They will admire you. Then they will seek to place you beside them, beneath them, or behind them. Do not mistake proximity for safety. If anyone offers you protection at the cost of your voice, refuse. If anyone offers you honor that requires obedience, decline. If anyone claims you must belong to something greater than yourself, remember that you already do. You belong to truth. I cannot walk beside you. I cannot shield you as a father should. Any open claim would make you a target and turn love into a weapon. That is the last harm I will do you. But hear this, and hold it firmly. You were wanted. You were loved before you were known. You were chosen not by decree, but by providence. If the road grows narrow, walk it anyway. If it grows lonely, do not believe it empty. Others are listening even now because you taught them how. By the time you read this, I will be gone. Do not weep for me, but remember, I have left this world so that you may endure. Whatever history writes of this age, it will not know you rightly. That is its loss. Live freely, Sophia. Listen deeply. Carry what light you can without letting it burn you. Your father, Honourius. I rolled the scroll closed again, slowly, carefully, as though the words might bruise it, by handling it roughly. For a moment, I sat very still. Honourius would never know that this letter had done the one thing he could not. It had trusted me completely. That, I realized, was the final act of fatherhood. I folded the scroll into my sachet without ceremony. I had already walked beyond it, whole, unburdened, and utterly myself. The star that had guided us so far to witness miracles and the awakening of the world was no longer visible to our eyes, but it was felt in our hearts, growing brightly in the inner caves of our souls. Behind me, a sound arose, soft, almost accidental. Loukia sat near the embers of the fire, her lyre resting against her knee. She was not singing to call anything forth, not asking, not prophesying. Her fingers moved slowly, finding a melody that did not seek attention. It was a song of remembering. No high notes, no reaching, just a gentle circling, like water finding the same stone again and again. The kind of song a mother hums without thinking, or an old man whistles when he believes no one is listening. Kaliope stood a little to the side, her hands folded before her. She did not speak. She did not try. Her silence was no longer a wound. It rested in her like a clear pool of water, undisturbed, reflecting what passed without tapping it. When Loukia's voice softened, Kaliope closed her eyes, not in pain, but in peace. I understood then what I had not fully grasped before. Silence can be taken from someone, but it can also be chosen. Loukia finished the song without flourish. No one applauded. No one needed to. The moment had no edges. "It is done," I said quietly. Adam nodded. "Yes." "And yet," I added, "everything continues." "That's how you know it was real," he said. Kaliope opened her eyes and met mine across the small space between us. She smiled, not shyly, not bravely, simply, as one who had come home inside herself. The first rays of light crept higher, warming the camp. No one hurried, no one waited, and in that stillness I understood that what we had followed across the deserts and kingdoms had not yet gone ahead of us. It had taken its place among us, and that was enough. A man arrived before dawn with bread wrapped in linen stamped by no mark I recognized. Another followed, leading a donkey already saddled, its packs filled with care. A woman came at midday with a basket of dried figs and salt fish, speaking only to Joseph, her eyes never lifting to his face. No one said Mara's name. They did not need to. Joseph watched all of this with the attention of a craftsman examining unfamiliar tools. He tested straps, adjusted knots, weighed packs in his hands. He asked practical questions: where water could be found, how long each stretch of road would take, which villages were better passed by night. He did not ask why, but I saw it in the way his shoulders held themselves, in the careful economy of his movements. He was uneasy, not afraid, but aware. "This road is not the shortest," he said quietly, after the last messenger had gone. "No," Adam replied, "but it is watched less." Joseph nodded. "Less watched is not unwatched." Mary stood a little apart, the child asleep against her breast, his small weight shaping the fall of her cloak. She listened, but not as we did, not to words alone. "We will go by the canal first," Joseph continued, thinking aloud. "Then inland. Alexandria is large enough to disappear inside, if one chooses the right corners." "And costly," Adam said. Joseph's mouth curved in, something like a smile. "Everything that lasts is." He turned to Mary. "We will be hidden there for a time." Mary met his gaze. "Yes." There was no question in her voice. Joseph hesitated, then said what he had not yet spoken. "This will not be easy. The city is loud. It will not understand us." Mary adjusted the child slightly, careful not to wake him. "It is not meant to." Joseph steadied her face. "You know something we do not?" She did not deny it. "I know that the road ahead will feel like obscurity," she said softly. "And many will think that is loss." I felt a tightening in my chest. "Is it not?" Mary smiled, not sadly but gently. "No, It is mercy. She looked down at the child. What is given to the world must be given time to grow roots. Loud beginnings rarely survive. Joseph exhaled slowly. And the cost? Mary's hand rested over his. We will pay it in small ways, she said, daily, quietly. Joseph nodded then, once decisively. His unease did not vanish, but it had found its place. We leave before the heat rises, he said. Thank those who come. Say nothing more than necessary. Adam nodded his head. That seems to be Mara's way. Mary looked up at the path stretching southward, her eyes clear. It is the way light travels, she said, not by demanding it be seen, but by finding where it can remain. The child stirred, then settled again, and I understood that while we were arranging routes and disguising and provisions, Mary was already living in the future we feared, not because she saw less, but because she saw further. Mary came to me later, while the others were occupied with Joseph tightening straps. Adam speaking quietly with Targetus, the camp moving with that gentle urgency that belongs to departures. Mary waited until I looked up. Walk with me, she said. We went a little way beyond the edge of the camp, where the ground sloped and the morning light gathered itself without glare. The air was cool. The day had not yet decided what it would demand. For a time, neither of us spoke. Then Mary said, Many have helped us. Yes, I replied. More than we expected. She nodded. Protection is a kindness, she said, and I receive it with gratitude. She stopped and turned to face me. But that is not why I came to you. I felt my breath still. You have not tried to place us, she continued. Not within your learning, not within your fears, not within the stories people are already prepared to tell. I said nothing. The truth of it needed no defense. You look at my son, Mary said, and you do not rush to explain him. I felt the heat rise behind my eyes, unexpected and sharp. You allow him to be, she said simply. We stood there, the light soft on her face, the child quiet against her shoulder. There would be philosophers who want to protect him by defining him, Mary went on, and kings who want to honor him by owning him. Both would harm him. She reached for my hand and held it with the calm of one who knows what she offers. You do neither, she said. You understand. These words landed with more weight than praise ever could. I only listen, I said. Mary smiled. That is understanding. She looked back towards the camp, then returned her gaze to me. You will not walk with us much longer. No, I said, but you will be carried. She shook her head gently. Not that. She placed my hand briefly against the child's back, warm and real beneath the cloth. This, she said, you will carry this moment, not as proof, not as burden, but as memory. When others ask you to make him louder than he wishes to be, you will remember how quietly he rested. My voice was barely more than a breath. I will. Mary's eyes held mine, steady and unafraid. Then go in peace, she said. You have already given us what we needed. She stepped back. As she returned to Joseph, I remained where I was, the imprint of that understanding still warm in my hand. They gathered without signal. No horn was sounded, no word passed to summon them. They came because the moment had arrived and because each of them felt, without needing to say it, that this was the last time they would stand together like this. They formed a loose circle at the edge of the camp, where the ground still bore the marks of many nights' rest. Packs were already shouldered, horses waited, the day was fully awake. Adam stood beside me. Axia broke the silence first, her voice measured. "So this is where we end," she said. I shook my head gently. "No, this is only where we stop walking together." Arsalian smiled faintly, which may be harder. Targetus crouched near a stone, absently feeding a scrap to Sophia, perched above, unseen but present. Loukia stood with Kaliope beside her, fingers loosely wrapped around her lyre. Theron leaned on his staff, Camilla upright and alert at his side. Scarus just behind her shoulder, watching everything, claiming nothing. Adam spoke. "There is something that must be said," he said, "and once said, it must not be repeated as law." Several smiled at that. "The League of Star Bearers," Adam continued, "is not an order." "No ranks," Camilla said. "No commands," Scarus added. "No center," Theron said mildly. I nodded. "And no return to this shape." That landed more heavily. "We were never meant to arrive anywhere together," Adam said softly. "Only to witness," I replied. The Queen of the Scythians drew a slow breath. "Then let us name what we carry away, so we do not mistake it later for ownership." She looked at Adam. I returned to rule, but not as I ruled before. I met her gaze, as a servant. Axia bowed her head, as one who knows how easily crowns become idols. Arsalian spoke next. "I will teach," he said, "and I will watch, not for signs, but for people who are not yet ready to hear them." Loukia shifted, looked at her mother, and then said simply, "We will remain near the child of light, not to shape him, but to be present as he grows." No one questioned this. Targetus smiled to himself. "I will guard the paths no one marks," he said, "the ways between places, the roads people only find when they are lost." He turned to Loukia, eyes shining, "And I will go with you to keep both of you safe." Loukia lifted her lyre slightly. "I will sing," she said, "not prophecy, memory, what the world forgets when it grows loud." Kaliope squeezed her hand, her silence radiant. Theron cleared his throat. "I will move where power listens," he said, quietly, "and I will make certain some questions are never asked." Camilla said, "And we will protect truth." "Without names," Scarus finished. A pause followed, long enough for absence to make itself felt. "And Axia," I said, turning toward the open road. "You return to the edge of the world," Adam said, "with what you have learned here." "Which is the hardest road," Theron murmured. Sophia looked around the circle now, meeting each face. "We are not being scattered," she said. "We will continue." "And no one will remember it correctly," Arsalian said. Adam smiled faintly. "That is not failure." "No," I agreed, "it is fidelity." For a moment, no one moved. Then Axia stepped back. Then Arsalian. Then the others. One by one, they oriented themselves not away from one another, but towards their roads. Loukia, her mother, and Targetus lingered. Loukia took up her lyre and turned to Adam and I. "A parting gift for you," she wrote. "I give this to you, Sophia, the words written down, to be sung when you return to your home." She began playing.
Where the Nile remembers, he woke where the ancient river winds. A stranger cast from shattered time, Adam anyone with healer's hands. And wounded heart that learned to climb from Abel's trust, Sophia's gaze. He walked a road he never sought, by Hippo's roar and Phoenix plays. Fate carved the lessons he was taught. Oh, wanderer born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angels send. Your name is anyone, it seems, but every wounded heart you men walk on. Healer, chosen one, walk on till the rising sun. Adam, Adam, anyone, your journey has begun. The healer, bound in wings of light, through the marble halls of learning, through the books of ancient lore, Sophia's truth within him burning, open wide a hidden door. Yet the wings of heaven found him, drew him far from all he knew, to the steps where storms surround him, where the queen of eagles flew. Oh, wanderer born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angels said. Your name is anyone, it seems, by every wounded heart you men walk on. Feeler, chosen one, walk on till the rising sun. Adam, Adam, anyone, your journey has begun. Across the world's far edge, over passes cold and narrow, past the fires of Kushan kings, where the eagle guides the arrow, and the night itself has wings. He walked on through fate's deep weaving, with the queen who feared no foe, and the poet shy, believing in a star's relentless glow. Oh, wanderer born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angels said. Your name is anyone, it's true, but every wounded heart you mend. Walk on, feeler, chosen one, walk on till the rising sun. Adam, Adam, anyone, your journey has begun. Prophet of the star, a star arose, a voice within. Gabriel's summons clear and fierce. To Petra's rose, red desert thin. His visions deepened, shadows pierced. He stood on ridges black as bone and saw the child who would be king. He knelt where eternal love was sown, and felt the mercy angels bring. Oh, wanderer born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angels said. Your name is gates of Herod's terror, past the slaughter yet to be, became the midnight bearer of a newborn mystery. In a cave where light was sighing, in a mother's quiet grace, Adam knelt his heart replying to the child's eternal face. A wonder born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angel said, your name is anyone it seems, but every wounded heart you men walk on. Healer, chosen one, walk on till the rising sun. Adam, anyone, your journey has begun. Promise in the dawn, for anyone may rise again. Where sorrow twists and bends, a prophet made of mortal dust, a healer at the end. The eternal, the witness, he carried the flame. The angels gave a gift to the wolf he left behind. Not to conquer, but to save, not to judge, but to remind that anyone may rise again. That faith grows tall where sorrow bends, that even the smallest, humblest man may stand where heaven's purpose ends. Oh, wonder, born of dust and dream, bearer of fire, the angel sent. Your name is anyone yet known, for love is the mark you choose to tend. Walk on, healer, prophet, friend, your journey does not end.
When she finished, we all shed tears as we turned and walked away. Adam and I remained until the last of them had gone. The camp thinned, the ground emptied. Adam and I stood, watching Joseph and Mary leave the camp with Mara's servants. I turned to Adam with tears in my eyes. I laid my head on his chest as we embraced. And what of us now? What is to become of us? I said. He held me tightly. I do not know, my love, he said. Adam's thoughts turned to Raphael, his guide in uncertain times. We felt his presence. Raphael did not arrive. He was simply there, standing where the shadow of the rocks met the thinning light, as though the morning had learned his shape and kept it. You asked, he said. We didn't speak, I replied. Adam and I turned to him as he gestured for us to follow him. Walk with me, he said. We followed him out of the camp, and I sat on a low stone, hands resting open on my knees. We don't know what we are meant to be, Adam said. We only know what I have seen and what it has cost to see it. Raphael regarded us with an expression that was neither pity nor approval. That is where your journey begins, he said, not with knowing, with bearing. He stepped closer, not threatening, not consoling. In the old languages, he continued, you, Adam, would be called a threshold walker, one who stands between rooms before any door is named. Adam frowned slightly. I don't feel heroic. Raphael's mouth curved just perceptibly into a smile. You are not. He gestured toward the camp, still quiet behind us. You were educated, attentive, restless, without spectacle, surrounded by signs you could catalog but not command, names spoken around you that carry weight that you did not feel. That sounds like preparation, Adam said. It is pre-integration, Raphael replied. Before the boon, before the return. Raphael tilted his head. You expected a descent into danger, a cave, a trial, a blade? I did, Adam admitted. But your ordeal, Raphael said, is not martial. He let the words settle. You were not asked to conquer, he went on. You were asked to remain intact. Adam laughed. That's harder. Yes, Raphael said simply. He moved his hand, and with it came a memory, not visions, but recognitions. You descended into contradiction, he said. Truth versus survival. What you knew against what would keep others alive. We thought of times where silence had saved us, or lies that had preserved breath. You descended into witness, Raphael continued, seeing holiness used as excuse, power dressed as order, violence baptized as necessity. Adam tensed. I wanted to speak. You learned, Raphael said, that when speech would turn witness into weapon. Raphael now looked at Adam directly. That is the descent most refuse. The wind moved tightly through the scrub. And then, Raphael said, you descended into silence. Adam said, Yes, he replied, because silence stripped you of usefulness. Adam looked up sharply. You learned, Raphael continued, that being right is not the same as being faithful, that intervention is not always healing, that some truths must wait for a body strong enough to carry them. Adam stared at the ground. So what am I then? Raphael considered the question carefully. You are not the hero who seizes the fire, he said. You are the vessel that learns its temperature. Adam laughed once, short and incredulous. That sounds like servitude. No, Raphael said, it is restraint. He stepped back, giving Adam space. You have been given a boon, Adam. The boon is not knowledge, he said. You had that already. The boon is capacity. To do what? To hold contradiction without breaking it into slogans, to witness without possessing, to speak when speech gives life, and to refuse it when it would kill. Adam felt the weight of this settle, not like a mantle, but like the breath finding its depth. And after? Adam asked. Raphael's gaze drifted toward the road stretching southward. Afterward, he said, you will not be remembered for what you have prevented. You will be remembered, if at all, for what you did not violate. He turned back to me. That is the work of a vessel. Adam nodded slowly. And if I fail? Raphael's voice softened, but it did not yield. You will, he said, and you will learn the skill of repair. Raphael stepped into the light then, and for a moment we saw not wings, not fire, but a clarity that did not belong to fear. You are still before the boon, Raphael said, which is why you still feel unfinished. He nodded his head. Walk on, he said. When the word is given, you will know, not because it is loud, but because it will fit. We had thought the conversation complete, but I have learned that angels do not measure speech the way humans do. He remained where he was, watching us, not as one who waits for an answer, but as one who waits for capacity. There is something else, Adam said. Raphael inclined his head. Yes? Adam hesitated, then spoke the fear he had not yet named. I see things now, patterns, consequences, where this road leads and where others will try to force it. And every instinct in me says, intervene, warn them, correct them, stop what I know will harm. Raphael's gaze sharpened, not harshly, but attentively. And yet you do not? He said. No, Adam replied, and it feels like betrayal. Raphael stepped closer. This, he said, is your supreme ordeal. Adam looked up at him. Not the evil in the mountain pass or the desert, not Herod, not death. Raphael shook his head. Those are spectacles. Your ordeal is quieter and far more dangerous. He gestured with his hand, and the air seemed to thicken as though gravity itself had leaned in. You have not been given knowledge so that you might seize power, Raphael said, nor that you might cleanse the world of error by force of clarity. I don't want power, Adam said quickly. No, Raphael agreed. You want relief. You want the truth to act so that you do not have to carry it alone. Adam lowered his eyes. In every age, Raphael said, there are those who glimpse the pattern early. Some become rulers, some become prophets, some become tyrants, convinced they are saviors. And me? Adam asked. Raphael answered without hesitation. You must bear without acting. The phrase settled like stone. To carry revelation, he went on, without weaponizing it. That is the line you must not cross. Adam shook his head slowly. But the truth is meant to be spoken. Yes, Raphael said, when it can be received. He crouched slightly so that his eyes were level with Adam's. Truth delivered prematurely, he said, does not heal, it wounds. It strips fragile souls of the illusions that they require to survive the next step. I thought of faces, earnest, frightened, hopeful, of men and women whose faith rested on structures not yet ready to be dismantled. I could destroy them, Adam whispered, with honesty. Raphael did not soften this. Yes, he said, and you would call it righteousness. Adam sighed. Then what am I allowed to do? Raphael stood again. You are allowed to wait, he said, to watch the slow ripening of time, to guard truth the way one guards fire, not by extinguishing it, but by keeping it from burning the house down. Adam felt a flash of anger then, not at him, but at the enormity of it. This feels like death, he said. Raphael's voice was gentle now, but unyielding. It is, he paused, and rebirth. Adam looked at him sharply. Every hero you know dies by losing something visible, Raphael said. A body, a kingdom, a name. You will die by losing the right to act when you most desire to. The words pressed hard against his chest. You will feel cowardly, Raphael continued. You will feel complicit. You will wonder whether your restraint is merely fear wearing a noble mask. And how will I know the difference? Adam asked. Raphael's answer was immediate. Fear seeks safety. Restraint seeks fidelity. A charged silence followed. "And if I fail?" Adam asked again. Raphael did not answer at once. When he did, his voice held something like sorrow. "Then you will act too soon," he said, "and you will watch the truth become a blade in your hand." He closed his eyes. When he opened them, Raphael was watching him closely. "You are not asked to save the world," he said. "You are asked not to break it with what you know." Adam sighed, bowing his head. "So this is my crossing," he said, "not from ignorance to knowledge, but from knowledge to patience." Raphael nodded. "This is your death and rebirth," he said. "The death of one who would fix, the birth of one who can wait." The light had risen fully now. The camp behind us stirred faintly. Voices, movement. The ordinary courage of people preparing to walk on. Raphael stepped back. "You will not be praised for this," he said. "You will rarely be thanked, and history will misunderstand you." Adam smiled faintly. "That seems consistent." Raphael allowed the hint of a smile in return. "Walk on, Adam," he said. "Carry what you see. When the moment comes to speak, it will not feel urgent. It will feel inevitable." Raphael did not turn away when the silence returned. He watched Adam as one watches a vessel being tested, not for brilliance, but for endurance. "You have been asked about your ordeal," he said. "Now you must understand the boon." I looked up. "There's a boon?" "Yes," Raphael said, "but it will disappoint anyone who expects radiance." He extended his hand, palm upward, not summoning light but holding space. "You'll be given the capacity of containment," he said. The word startled Adam. Containment sounds like diminishment. Raphael shook his head. "It is mastery without display." He lowered his hand. "Most heroes shine," he continued. "They blaze. They signal the divine by excess, by spectacle conquest, or transfiguration. Their fire is visible so that they may be believed." "And me?" Adam asked. Raphael met his gaze steadily. "You will endure." The word settled differently than we expected. "You will hold divine fire without announcing it," he said, "without burning those near you, without drawing worship or fear." "That sounds lonely," Adam said. "It is," Raphael replied, "which is why it is rare." He stepped closer, his voice quieter now. "In the myths you know," he said, "fire is stolen, wielded, or crowned. In your life, the fire will be carried." I thought of warmth, held close beneath a cloak, of embers banked against the night. "And if no one sees it?" Adam asked. Raphael's answer was immediate. "Then it has succeeded." Adam let out a breath. "You are learning," Raphael said, "that heaven does not enter the world the way men expect." He gestured toward the camp again, with donkeys shifting, bread being broken, water being poured. "Not through thunder," he said, "not through conquest, nor through crowns." Adam smiled faintly. "Those are the usual methods." "Yes," Raphael said, "and they fail more often than they transform." He looked at Adam now with something like approval, but stripped of comfort. "You are being taught human mediation," he said. "What does that mean?" Adam asked. "That you will recognize," Raphael replied, "how the infinite consents to becoming small." He named them slowly. as if each were a weight that must be lifted correctly. Through hospitality, he said, through patience, through ordinary faithfulness. Adam frowned slightly. That sounds almost insufficient. Raphael's eyes sharpened. It is the only way that lasts, he went on. You have seen how heaven actually moves, he said, not by overriding the world, but by trusting it, by entering at the scale of bread, wine, shelter, listening, and time. I thought of Joseph's tying straps, of Mary's steady hands, of strangers who had given water without knowing why. And my role? Adam asked. Raphael answered with care. You will recognize the moment when heaven asks permission, he said, and you will know how to say yes without forcing anyone else to. The weight of it pressed inward, not crushing, but bracing. You will not be a sign, Raphael said. You will not be a voice crying aloud. You will not be crowned. Adam nodded. I will be a place. Yes, Raphael said simply, a place where fire may rest without consuming. The sun had risen fully now. The light was ordinary, generous everywhere. And this, Raphael said, is why you were not given spectacle. Adam looked at me intently. Spectacle demands response. Containment permits choice. I felt the truth of it resonate, deep, slow, irrevocable. So the boon, Adam said, is not power. Raphael inclined his head. The boon is trustworthiness. We stood there for a moment longer. Walk on, Adam, he said. Carry fire like a hearth, not a weapon. Let others warm themselves without knowing why. He paused and then added, when history looks for thunder, it will not find you. Adam smiled faintly. That seems appropriate. Raphael's gaze softened. But when the world survives another day, he said, you will have been there. Raphael did not withdraw when the teaching ended. Instead, he looked past us, past the camp, past the road, as though measuring something that had not yet taken shape. There is one more thing, he said. We did not answer. We had learned by now that silence was not absence, but readiness. You have asked what you must not do, Raphael continued. You have learned what you must carry. Now you must hear what you bring. I felt a tightening in my chest, not fear, but gravity. You bring, Raphael said, a way of being that stabilizes revelation. Adam frowned. I don't reveal anything. No, Raphael replied. You receive it, and by receiving it without haste, you keep it from shattering those who encounter it. He stepped closer. Revelation is unstable in the world of men, he said. It arrives too hot, too bright, too quickly. Left unchecked, it becomes tyranny, holy words enforced without patience, visions demanded without mercy. I thought of kings, of prophets, of crowds. And you, Raphael said, you are the human presence that prevents holiness from becoming domination. The words landed heavily. That is not glory, Adam said. Raphael nodded. No, it is necessity. He gestured toward the camp again, where ordinary life continued, with packs adjusted, bread broken, voices low. You are a keystone, he said, unglamorous, often unnoticed, but remove you. and the arch collapses. Adam shook his head slightly. That gives me too much importance. Raphael's gaze sharpened. It gives you responsibility, he said, not authority. He let the distinction stand. Where you walk, Raphael went on, conflicts cool, not because you resolve them, but because you refuse to feed their heat. I thought of moments already past, words we had not spoken, arguments that had dissolved without victory. Extremes soften, Raphael continued, not because you persuade them, but because your presence reminds them of cost, human cost, and voices, he said. Listen before shouting. I don't tell them to, said Adam. No, Raphael said, you make it possible. He stepped back now, giving the prophecy its full shape. You function as three things as once. The stabilizer, he named first, you keep revelation from fracturing the world. Then the human measure, you remind celestial beings, angels included, what incarnation costs, when it demands of flesh, time, and patience. Adam looked up sharply. You, Raphael did not flinch, especially us. Then he said the third, the silent bridge. The phrase resonated like a chord struck low. You are the threshold who stands between visionaries who burn, Raphael said, and communities that must live. I thought of myself, of my fire tempered by listening. I thought of Balthazar, of the star he carried like a banner and a burden. I thought of Gondophares, of the sacrifices he had made, giving up his kingdoms and offering up his body to shield us. Raphael named it plainly now. If Balthazar carries the star, he said, if Sophia carries the word, he met my eyes, then you, Adam, carry the weight. The world seemed to settle around the sentence, not exalted, not condemned, situated. And what if I set it down? Adam said quietly. Raphael answered without severity. Then others will lift it up, he said, but they will do so with less gentleness. Silence followed. At last Adam said, this means I will rarely be thanked. Raphael almost smiled. Yes, he said, and often misunderstood. That seems to be a theme, said Adam. It is the mark of those who keep the world intact, Raphael replied. Raphael now turned his luminous gray eyes upon me, and his gaze filled me with a sense of immeasurable peace. You have listened long enough, Raphael said to me. Now you must hear. I did not bow. I did not step back. I am listening, I said. Raphael inclined his head as one acknowledging an equal posture is not an equal weight. You have wondered, he said, why Adam was brought from another time. My breath stilled. Not because the past required correction, Raphael continued, and not because the future needed warning. Adam was brought because continuity was in danger. Adam glanced at me, but Raphael's gaze did not shift. There are moments, Raphael said, when revelation arrives faster than humanity can bear, when meaning fractures into slogans and faith becomes force. Adam stands where time might tear. I turned slightly toward Adam then, understanding, blooming without surprise. He is not here to heal bodies, Raphael said. Others will do that loudly. He is here to witness continuity, to remember what it is to be born quietly, must be guarded from being rushed into violence. And you, Sophia, he said, have wondered why you were preserved, hidden, shaped by absence rather than inheritance. I felt the words not as accusation, but as alignment. You were not hidden to be diminished, Raphael said. You were hidden so that the meaning itself might survive. Meaning is fragile, I said. Yes, Raphael said, which is why it requires keepers, not heralds. He stepped closer. You are not a prophet, he said gently. Prophets proclaim. You remember. You hold together what others would tear apart for clarity's sake. I closed my eyes briefly. And the child? I asked. Raphael did not soften his voice. You were never meant to keep him, he said. Not you, not Adam, not any of the star-bearers. Adam spoke quietly then. Because possession would corrupt the gift. Yes, Raphael said, and because wonder cannot be possessed. I understood at once. To keep him would have been to explain him. To guard him would have been to shape him. To remain would have been to interfere. You were meant, Raphael said, to let him go. The words ached, but they did not wound. You will remain together, Raphael said to both of us, because the work you do requires companionship. But you will not be spared loss, not of people, not of clarity, not of comfort of being understood. I met Adam's eyes. I see it now, I whispered. History will remember none of this correctly. Raphael nodded. History remembers what can be organized. Adam spoke, voice steady. Then it will call us irrelevant. Yes, Raphael said, and you must not correct it. Adam exhaled, something like relief passing through him. That is not failure. No, Raphael agreed. That is fidelity. Raphael stepped back, the light reclaiming its ordinary shape. Sophia, he said one last time, you are the keeper of meaning, not so it may be controlled, but that it may be returned when the world is ready again. He turned to Adam, and you, he said, are its witness across time. Then to both of us, together, walk on. What you have carried will outlast what is said about it. The light had climbed higher now. The day had begun in earnest. Raphael stepped back, releasing the moment. You will not announce this role, he said. You will not defend it. You will live it quietly, or not at all. He turned as if to leave, then paused. One last thing, he said. Yes? When the weight feels unbearable, Raphael said, remember this. You are not asked to carry it alone. Then Raphael stepped back, not vanishing, not departing, simply releasing the shape he had held. He was gone, not with thunder, not with wings, but with the stillness that remains when something essential has found its place. Adam stood beside me, steady. We did not speak. We did not need to. The world was already moving on, unchanged, misremembering, and quietly held together by what would never bear our names. We stood there for a moment longer, feeling the weight, not crushing, not light, but true. And when we returned to the camp, no one looked at us differently, which told me Raphael had spoken the truth. Axia stood at the edge of the camp, where the land opened toward the long roads north and east, roads that did not end in cities, but in vast expanses. Her horses were already saddled, their manes braided for travel, their eyes fixed on horizons that belonged to them alone. Beyond the last rise lay the way home, the open steppe, the wind-swept plains, the edge of the world where maps grew hesitant and empire learned its limits. Arsalian checked the cinch on his mount and nodded once. The road is clear. Axia nodded. It always is once one decides to leave. Adam and I approached, our footsteps unhurried. I studied the line of warriors gathering loosely, not in ranks but in readiness. These were not soldiers bound to a throne, but a people bound to a land and sky. "You're returning far," I said. Axia smiled faintly, "to where power cannot pretend to be eternal." Arsalian swung into the saddle. "Our lands lie where the world thins," he said, "beyond the last stone roads, beyond the counting houses, where kings do not send scribes because there is nothing to tax but wind." Adam looked northward. "And yet you came all this way." "Yes," Axia replied, "to learn what to carry back." She turned to face us fully. "I was once sworn to vengeance," she said, "to answer blood with blood, to repay slaughter with terror. I believe that was justice fit for a queen." I did not interrupt. "But when the moment came," Axia continued, "and the child was saved, and the rioters scattered," the oath loosened its grip. Arsalian dismounted briefly, standing beside her. "We understood then that vengeance travels well, but it is never returning home clean." Axia nodded. "Our people will remember what we bring back. If I had returned to make rivers of blood, they would have drunk from it for generations." Adam said quietly, "You choose differently." "I chose stewardship," Axia said, "over conquest." She gestured toward the open road. "We will return to the edge of the world with this instead: vigilance without dominion, protection without possession." I met her gaze, philosopher to queen. "Power that chooses restraint is rarely understood." Axia's smile sharpened, but without bitterness. "Then it will survive where empires do not," she answered. Arsalian mounted again. "We will range our borders," he said. "Where traders pass, we will watch. Where children flee, we will stand between." "And if challenged?" Adam asked. Arsalian's eyes were cold and honest. "Then the challengers will learn what we refused to become." I stepped closer to Axia. "You vowed once to make the world pay for what it had done." "Yes," Axia said, "and now I vow my people will not be taught to believe suffering is currency." I bowed my head. "You carry this choice back to the margins." Axia returned the gesture. "The margins remember longer than the center." She paused, then added quietly, "And they listen." Arsalians signaled. The warriors mounted, spreading out not in a column but in widening arcs, already half returned to the freedom of their lands. Axia lingered for a moment longer. "Do not let the world tell you," she said to me, "that restraint is weakness." I answered calmly, "And do not let the world tell you that mercy ends at the border." Axia laughed softly, a sound carried easily by open air. Then she turned and rode north and east toward the thinning edge of the world, where power does not accumulate but must be carried lightly or not at all. Adam watched until they were dust and sky. "They could have taken much wealth with them," he said. Yes, I replied, but they're taking back something much more valuable. And the road accepted them back into distance, where guardianship would outlast empire, and the edge of the world would remember.
The sea divides, the winds depart, two roads unroll beneath one star. One seeks the goal that feeds the heart, one walks to find the child afar. Star of mercy, guide me through, light the path where love is true. If the sea should close behind, keep my soul in heaven's mind.
Music for Chapter 21. The Sea Divides. Lyrics by Raymond Kaliope. Voice and music by Marika A.I. The Ballad of Adam Anyone. Lyrics by Raymond Kaliope. Voice and music by Marika A.I. The following from Epidemic Sound. Peer Gynt, Suite No. 1, Opus 48, No. 2, Death of Asi, performed by Odyssey Orchestra. Peer Gynt, Suite No. 2, Opus 55, No. 4, Solveig's Song, performed by Odyssey Orchestra. A March Across an Ancient Land by John Abbott. Over Quadrille by Bright Farm Orchestra. Storybook by Joe Wandrini. And the End by Bon Fields. Act 2 Hydra by Joe Wandrini. Forging an Empire by Christopher Mo Ditlevson. Army of Angels by Edgar Hopp. The Odyssey Ahead by Dream Cave. From ED Records, A New Hope, Sad Business, Risen from the Ashes, by Zach Nelson, Myth. Archangel Chronicles 2, Chapter 21. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved, by Raymond Kaliope.